Well, the philosophy was that if you get an RV, you can eliminate hotel cost. When you travel, you are either going to incur hotel fees or campground fees. And for many years, RVs were on the relatively cheaper side. Campground fees were relatively on the cheaper side. And even with the cost of an RV and the cost of camping fees, you were still on average less than a hotel. But over the years, RVs have gotten more luxury. And there's something now called glamping, where instead of camping, you're glamping. You have this beautiful RV. You have everything within that RV that a hotel has. And you are now also incurring more campground fees because as the demand for RVing has picked up over the years and it has become less of a lifestyle that's looked down upon and more of a lifestyle that's looked up to, there's a supply-demand issue where there's a high demand, so the cost of something goes up. And so now, in 2021, especially last year with the coronavirus, where many people preferred or needed to travel in an RV because it was self-contained and it wasn't a shared environment such as a hotel. And so it kept this separation, which kind of followed the guidelines of not spreading a disease or the virus. And so that made the lifestyle pick up steam even more and more costly. Also, because of housing becoming unaffordable, a lot of people went into the RV lifestyle in hopes to get a cheaper form of housing. But as many people are realizing now, with RV prices going up, campground fees going up, and it's not just simple as getting a cheap RV and buying land, because most places, even after you buy the land, they don't allow you to live in your RV legally. You'd have to go pretty much in the middle of nowhere. You're stuck in this dynamic where in actuality, to travel, it may be better to travel out of your car, and when you want or when you need the amenities and the luxuries, to just stay at a hotel. Because you can stay for one night, you can stay for a month, and within the hotel is everything included. Utilities, furniture, amenities, pool, laundry, etc. And at a higher level than primitive campgrounds and a higher level than trailer parks. So, you have a more soothing environment in a hotel compared to a campground or a trailer park, which is more of, even though it can be nice, it's more of a roughing it lifestyle. And so, with the average camping fee being around $40, $50 a night, and that's relatively cheap depending on the area, and the average RV, I would say, costing a travel trailer costing at least $20,000 to $40,000 for the average one. There you may get a little bit less, and the average Class C costing between $60,000 to $80,000. The average Class B costing between $80,000 to $100,000. You have these RVs that are just as much as homes, and that doesn't include camping fees. It doesn't include gas. It doesn't include maintenance. So you say to yourself, it's cheaper, more luxury, less maintenance, less entanglement to stay at a hotel. Because for most people, no matter what your situation, most people are going to need a vehicle, a car. I've often talked about how a car, an efficient car, allows you to even make money with the gig economy, DoorDash, Instacart, or Uber. And so once you cross over and you get a big van or a bigger RV, you don't have that efficient vehicle and you lose out on potential revenue if you needed it. And that's always caution people before you get a van, make sure you don't need side money because you eliminate the possibility to DoorDash, Uber, Instacart. And in a lifestyle where you want freedom, part of that freedom, no matter how cheap you live, is having enough income to have independence. And so another option for income where I've already proven it because I've done it is in a decent populated area. You can make $2,000 to $3,000 a month in just delivering food through DoorDash or something of that nature. So, look, hotels can be expensive. There's no doubt. The hotel I'm staying in now, it's $99 a night if you stay 30 nights or more. Certainly, there's cheaper hotels. Certainly, there's more expensive because if you're not staying long term here, it's $170 a night. So I can't make the sales pitch that a hotel is always cheaper or even cheaper, but I can say that RVs are not cheap. Campground fees are not cheap. And once you get this big RV or a small RV, it's a depreciating asset, it goes down in value, and you always need somewhere to park it. And you're married to it, and so you have to really be committed to something, and you have to think about something. Hotel, a hotel is less commitment, it's less maintenance. You can check in, check out, and you can take an airplane. I mean, you can drive in your efficient vehicle to the next town, to the next destination, and you can mix in some nights at a hotel and some nights camping in your car, camping in your SUV. That's something that I'm looking at as well, as another option to have convenient comfort and safety on a scale up, scale down basis. Because once you get an RV, you're gaining more comfort, you're gaining more luxury and amenities, but you're married to a lifestyle, And while I like the nomadic lifestyle, I don't like the entanglement sometimes of campgrounds, RV parks, and having to go there. And again, once you get the RV, you have to go. I mean, you can certainly free boondock, you can certainly free camp at certain areas depending on your rig. Certainly once you get a fifth wheel or a big Class C, you stand out like a sore thumb. Even in Class B vans, you can kind of tell. And again, even if you build out your own van, you miss out on a potential for revenue if you ever needed it with food delivery or Uber or whatever. So, again, I don't think either one in a blanket statement could be say is cheaper. I don't think I can say that hotel life would always be cheaper or RV life would always be cheaper. I think obviously it depends, and obviously both can be expensive, but both could be used as a way to supplement a lifestyle if they're done periodically. But see, the hotel stay you can do periodically and then go back to car camping or car living. The RV life, once you're in until you sell the RV. There's a saying that the best day of your RV ownership is the day you buy it and the day you sell it. And so there's something to be said in that, where the excitement of buying it is the peak, and when you sell it, it's the relief. And everything in between is the commitment to that lifestyle. Which again, if you get a camping membership and you're very prudent and you're very shrewd in how you manage your cost, you may be able to live cheaper than the average person, but you may be subject to stay in areas that maybe you normally wouldn't if you didn't have an RV. Because to camp cheap, you're going to have to go in areas that are not that attractive. Because the nice areas, no matter what your living situation, are always going to demand a higher price because they're a nice area. And people want to stay there, okay? And so, a lot of the cheaper campgrounds or the membership package, a lot of them are not in the best areas. And I don't want to say like high crime, but they're just not in an area where there's a lot going on, where there's a lot of attraction, So, my conclusion is, that I really don't like commitment. I really don't like... I don't like long-term stays at campgrounds or RV parks because most of them, again, I mean, they're a profit machine too. They're scrunched up together. You could say the same thing about hotel rooms. They're like scrunched up like apartments, but depending on what hotel you stay, I mean, I don't know. Again, you get room service, you get a lot more amenities, and I think there's less entanglement. But either way, I mean, there's not a clear concise, simple answer. But me talking this out as someone who has had experience living in a car, living in a hotel, living the RV lifestyle without the RV, and that's why even in the beginning of my journey, I did not get an RV because when I thought about it, the cost, the camping fees, the maintenance, the planning, the logistics, I said, man, you're never really going to be stealth. You're going to be married to a lifestyle. And for me, the biggest attraction to the nomadic lifestyle was simple and flexibility. Because to me, if the nomadic lifestyle does not give you the flexibility and simplicity, you might as well go to the conforming lifestyle, because the conforming lifestyle, in most instances, you're going to purchase property or a house or an apartment that's going to appreciate versus an RV which is going to depreciate, and the camping fees are still going to go up. Like you say, rent always goes up, but so does camping fees, so does property taxes. Everything goes up. Hotel stays too. Even so, you're not going to get away with living free no matter where you go. It's a falsehood, okay? Because even if you go in the middle of nowhere in a blanket desert, what's your quality of life? To wake up every day and do nothing? You can live cheaper. You still got to buy food. Still got to buy, maybe health insurance, water, gas. But I always say at a certain point, again, it's a lifestyle creates a quality of life. A quality of life creates a life. And certainly in most first world countries, people overdo it with too much luxury, too much comfort. Certainly living barren, living destitute to try to save 2 nickels when you could make 20 nickels if you put a little effort into your life doesn't make sense. It's the parable of, people who will drive 5 miles to save 10 cents on gas, and they burn up 2 extra gallons of gas just getting to the cheaper gas station, and they have more aggravation, more frustration, etc. So, this is the challenge that you face, and then I hope this video helped you. If it did, I appreciate if you click the thumbs up, subscribe if you're not, click the blue join button if you want to support the channel. Check out my playlist, thousands of free videos about a variety of topics, including the nomadic life. Keep showing up, keep making videos, keep going to your job, keep doing what you need to do until you get where you need to get. Why? Because if you don't show up, you're never going to get there, okay? So you're still going to have bad days if you show up, but at least you'll be doing something. Because if you do nothing, you ain't going nowhere. All right? Peace.